Thank you everyone for joining us today and welcome back to the iSH podcast. Today we're here to learn about Aspire Academy. Aspire Academy is a community interest company and it was the brainchild behind 3 local companies, William King Construction, Time to Change and also West Cumbria Learning Centre. It provides alternative provision for young people who perhaps aren't in traditional mainstream education in construction skills. And today I'm joined by William King. Welcome, William.
Thanks, Hannah.
Thanks for joining us today. So we're here today to talk about Aspire Academy. So can you just tell us a little bit more about what it is and how have William King Construction come to be involved in it?
So Aspire Academy is a community project at heart where we have teamed up with West Cumbria Learning Centre to teach their learners, year 10, year 11 kids, in some basic construction skills, bricklaying, trowel occupations really, bricklaying, rendering, laying some paving slabs, bit of groundworks, exposing young people to construction, and just trying to emphasise that there's another way to learn. They don't need to be stuck in the classroom because a lot of the kids that go there don't enjoy being in the classroom environment.
Mm-hmm. And how have William King Construction come to be involved? So there's 3 companies that are involved.
Yeah, I'll give you a bit of that. Together. I'll give you a bit of that background. So the idea was born, myself and Rachel Holliday from Time to Change, Calderwood House and things. We've known each other for 12, 13 years, and we've, over that time frame, toyed with doing little projects, and they've never came to fruition for one reason or another. But it was always a link between my company and the people that she helps, whether that was Calderwood House, the homeless people and things like that. And eventually something's came off where we decided to set up this academy to help the kids from the West Cumbria Learning Centre. Mm-hmm. Then we got Danny involved, who's the head, and the 3 of us managed to pull it off somehow.
Mm-hmm. And why is something like this important for our local area?
It's important on so many different levels. You know, if we can intervene into some of these young people's trajectory and guide them onto a different path than what they're statistically going to go down, it's important in that respect. But, you know, the cost savings to the government for the future, if that person stays in unemployment from 18 years old to 30 years old, the monetary values are absolutely staggering. So, you know, to peel it all back, if we change the outcome for one pupil, we're not only changing their life and then, you know, lineage down the line, but we're also saving the country money at the same time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And for these young people that, you know, yourself, Rachel, Danny from West Cumbria Learning Centre are working with in day in, day out, are you starting to see those changes happening?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got, I won't mention any names for obvious reasons, but we've got one young individual. He's been with us so all through year 10 and he's coming up to doing his exams now in year 11. Statistically, he's been one of the worst children for behaviour, classroom-based behaviour that they've ever seen at the facility. But he's came to us and he's just took to it like a duck to water. His confidence in being around people, his confidence, you know, we give him little tasks where we put him as the supervisor for the day. It's really, really rewarding to see some of them that they haven't necessarily changed, but it's just bringing something out of them that they're not getting a chance to show when they're in the usual classroom environment.
And we talk about this, you know, potentially changing lives, you know, changing that trajectory, that pathway that someone is potentially going down and putting them on a pathway that will lead to good, solid employment. So these young people, are these the types of people that William King Construction are potentially going to take on in the future?
That's the dream, yeah. That's the golden goose, if you like. That, you know, to get somebody through our academy, do our training protocol that we've had help from some nationally recognised people to put together. They end up getting a BTEC qualification in brickwork, which some of these lads had achieved that standard after 6 months. never mind at 18 months. We're also doing lots of other short courses, so like manual handling, asbestos awareness, working at heights, all those little add-ons. So, these kids are going to get to 16 years old, do their exams, and the CV is going to be quite fantastic because of what they've done with us. So whether they get a job with us or if that doesn't align, they'll definitely be on the front foot to get a job somewhere. And that's the ultimate goal, is to instill in them the belief that they can go to Lakes College, get an apprenticeship, and be the best in the class on week one. Statistically, kids from the Peru, week one, they're the worst in class. 6 months in, they're the worst in class, and then they've been ejected. So, yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
And why is it important for employers to be involved in something like this, to get so heavily involved and aligned to education?
I'll be biased when I answer that one. I think it's so important, and it's been difficult to get it over the line. It took a lot of planning and a lot of legwork to get it formed. But now it seems a no-brainer to why would you not do something like this? Why would you not give a little bit of your time to try and nurture some young talent through to convince them to get into the construction industry? I'm being biased there because I'm doing it, but I think everyone should try and do something similar. It doesn't have to be as large scale as what we're doing. It could be a smaller operation, but yeah, I think it's a great thing.
Yeah. And when we talk about the construction industry there, what does the future for the construction industry look like then? What types of roles can these young people be expecting?
I think, without trying to put them in a box, the kids that we've got more than likely would end up going down the blue-collar route, so the typical trades, whether that's bricklaying, joinery, plastering, etc. But what we're also learning them is that's almost a gateway into a career that could take you all around the world, in health and safety, in quality, in management, in supervision. If they can get the guts of a trade behind them, everybody needs tradesmen, especially with the way the world's going with artificial intelligence and all that kinds of topic. I think tradesmen are going to be front and centre for the future, for the coming future anyway.
And do you find that these sort of really hands-on practical lessons just sort of capture something within that young people that perhaps a traditional classroom setting doesn't?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's really evident to see that the difference, and when the teachers explain to us about their performance in the normal environment, and then to witness what they're doing when they're with us. I mean, if we do have written work that they do as part of the BTEC qualification, and they want to go in the classroom and do it because they're doing a practical thing out there. They're learning about it practically. They're doing it, and then they go and write about it in the workbooks. So it's quite profound, really.
From sort of personal experience, my partner owns his own construction company as well, and he really, really struggled in school. Yeah. So I was telling him what I was coming to talk about on the podcast today, and he just went, gosh, if I'd had something like that when I was 15, 16, it would have turned my life around quicker. But now he's self-employed and owns his own company. Is these the types of skills where these young people potentially could go off and make their own William King constructions in the future?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I was that. We won't go in too depth about William King, but I was going down that path when I was their age. I was excluded from school when I was 15. I was in trouble, in the community and things. And there's revolving doors there. So what we're trying to teach these kids is that you're going to be faced with chances. You're going to be faced with opportunities in life in the coming years, and it's going to happen right now for them. 16, 17-year-old, you're going to get the opportunity to make a decision, and you can make the right decision or the wrong decision for your future, for your whole life. And it's just getting them ingrained to understand how to make the right decision. So we're not just teaching practical skills, how to lay a brick. We're trying to teach them a bit of self-belief, a bit of discipline, some resilience, and instill confidence in them. And hopefully, it seems as though it's working on a few of our learners as well.
Do you feel those positive role models from industry can really make that difference in their lives?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I'm trying my best every week, but we're going to embark on a bit of the growth that we've got planned out, which we're going to come to, is pulling on the supply chain. So we want to get volunteers involved. We won't just take we're not going to get a flood of people to volunteer, but we're going to try and encourage people that have come from a trade background or a local background where they've a little bit of life learning about what these kids are going through, just to come and explain of what they've done and where they've got to in life. And yeah, a lot of them just need that exposure to explain to them that you can be there and you can get to here very easily.
So you mentioned growth for Aspire Academy. Is there some plans afoot? Are we hoping to grow and develop as it moves forward?
Yeah, so currently we only teach our learners on a Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And when you go to the site and you have a look about it and just think that we're only doing that one day, we're vastly underused. We could be doing it every day of the week, really, different groups. We're going to focus on going outside of West Cumbria Learning Centre for the growth. We've just had a couple of meetings with the Cumberland Council Home Education Officer. Mm-hmm. I can't remember the exact number, but it's between 400 and 600 kids that are homeschooled, so they've been removed from mainstream education by the parents or guardians. So we're looking at ways to tap into that cohort of kids and get them up there as well on a different day. Mm-hmm. And the growth would be around different trades as well. So I think we're looking at joinery, shutter and joinery, which is going to be in big demand, especially down at the Sellafield side. So we could get some of them into that pathway as well as the bricklaying, or all pathways. You're going to get experience with everything.
So from a local employer's perspective, which skills do you think will matter the most for young people coming through in the next 5, even 10 years?
I'll be biased again. I think school leavers should now be thinking about a career in construction or, creating things with their hands. A lot of the knowledge-based careers are going to be engulfed by technology. So that's going to change dramatically over the coming years. But thankfully, there's no robots that can go and build a house or build an extension or plaster a wall, build something out of timber. We're not quite at that point yet. So I think for the next, hopefully, 10, 20, 30 years, the traditional tradesmen are going to flourish, hopefully.
Yeah. And they're kind of the hands-on, I guess, skills. But if we think more about kind of essential skills or skills for work, what kind of really matters the most to you as an employer?
Oh, honesty. Yeah, honesty and resilience, because it's tough. It's a tough game, construction. It's not easy. We're just hopefully coming out of the winter now with today's weather. But yes, so resilience and and honesty is a big thing for us.
So I come from public sector education, and I remember working with our construction pupils, and the first thing we'd say in the first week is, it's very cold, I don't think I can manage that. But that's important, isn't it? It's real world exposure.
Real. And when you get up to our site, we've purposefully kept it all outdoors as well for that reason. So I'd done my apprenticeship. I'd done a 4-year apprenticeship at Lakes College, and everything was indoors. You didn't do anything outside, not one thing. So I think it's maybe not an advantage, but it gives them a truer picture of what to expect.
It's important, isn't it? Because we're building these young people for the real world, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. So they've had a nasty winter, and so Danny will come up to visit regularly, and Danny will turn up and he'll look at them and just shake his head. He's like, these kids have got waterproofs on and they're out working in the rain. If we said we can't even get them to sit still in class or turn up or behave in any way, and they're there working in the rain.
Yeah.
So it's a good grounding for them.
Yeah, and you talk about Danny there, who's the head teacher over at West Cumbria Learning Centre, and we've got Rachel Holiday as well from Time to Change West Cumbria. So between the three of you, just I guess how do you all work together? And can you tell me a little bit more about that kind of dynamic? Who does what?
Yeah, so I think with the three perfect people to set this up, Danny with his educational knowledge and regulatory information that he has on tap from the school's perspective, safeguarding and all that. Yeah. Rachel with the third sector knowledge. She's been working in third sector for most of her life, so she knows that inside out. And I'm there as the practical hands-on element. So the three skill sets have been perfectly aligned, really. We've just managed to get another director to agree to join. Kieran Rogers, he's a local lad as well. He's really involved in his community that he lives in Egremont, does a lot for the town and the community. Because Rachel's always was the plan for Rachel. She was always going to step down. She wanted to wait till it was self-sustaining and doing well. And then she's stepping down because Rachel will have other projects that she's going to now get off the ground as well.
So you talk about, we talk about expansion and a new director starting. Thinking just there about how the supply chain then might get involved. If anyone's listening and they're thinking, well, how do I find out a bit more and get involved in Aspire Academy? How do they do that?
So they can just get in touch with me direct or any of the other directors, Rachel and Danny, Kieran, and I've got a document that's ready to go to people. It's a bit of a roadmap and an asks document, which I've had help with pulling together from senior people within the supply chain that work in social impact. We're looking at different ways for people to get involved now because we're pretty much set up. We don't really need much more money. We do want money off people. We've got running costs, we've got operating costs, but we don't need any large sums of capital to keep going. We're going to look for volunteers, really. Currently, I teach. It's me and a lad that works for us every Wednesday. So we've been doing it for nearly 2 years. If I was stretched to try and do a Tuesday and a Thursday as well, I just don't think it would be sustainable for me, because I'm not a teacher, really. But our company as well, I'm getting questions now like, where you at? It's like, I'm teaching today.
Yeah.
So, we're going to need some support to grow, which, anybody that wants to get involved or wants to know more, just feel free to get in touch.
And how have you found that transition, I guess, from on a Tuesday running a big construction company through to on a Wednesday going into that environment of teaching young people? I
think the Wednesday's more challenging, in its own way. But no, I jest there. It's absolutely brilliant. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I'm not going to say I'm the same as these kids, but I've had a very similar experience with not gelling at school, not behaving very well. I had a great upbringing. Mine. That's not my situation, but I was unruly and did not want to be at school at all. So just knowing a little bit of what they've gone through, you really bond with them and you see the change in them, and it's inspiring, to be honest. Yeah. It's inspiring as much for me as it is for them to change. It's really fascinating.
So when you're not busy with your multiple hats for different jobs, what do you do away from work?
Just normal things, like everybody in the Lake District, mountain biking, fell walking.
Yeah. Is that how you switch off?
Yeah. I don't think I do switch off, to be honest with you.
Constantly thinking about the next thing.
It's constantly Aspire Academy right now.
Yeah.
There's always something constant there, but it's Aspire at the minute, and how we secure some external help, whether that's sponsorships, whether that's volunteering, to help us grow. Yeah.
Thank you for your time today, William. It's been great to have you on the podcast and learn a bit more about Aspire Academy, and also thank you for letting us know how people can get in touch and support further, and I look forward to seeing it continue to grow and develop.
Thank you very much.